Now your foundation,
Yep.
you've got a foundation. I understand that just recently you had a walkathon at a school, and all the kids, we gave you a bunch of the fun, and they were all drinking it. Tell us about that experience. What happened?
You know, well, what we do is my foundation, we put on walks. We call them Walks for Wellness. And we go up to Hesperia, which, if you guys don't know, it's the high desert, not a very affluent neighborhood or area. And we go up there and we do these walks for wellness where the kids go and raise money, and then they come out and they walk for a half an hour around their track or their field or whatever it is that they have at their school. We do it in elementary schools, K through 6. And last year we did, let me think, five schools. And in those 5 schools we raised about $75,000 that we gave back to the schools. And we actually wrote the checks to their parent-teacher clubs so that they could, so it wasn't earmarked, so that they didn't have to use it for anything special. They could use it for whatever they wanted to use it for, whatever they needed it for. This year we had about 20 schools that approached us. We ended up doing only 10 because we couldn't do all 20. And the first 2 went off, and Robert went out there because I've been training all day, so Robert's kind of my go-to guy when it comes down to this kind of stuff. He's driving all over California and stuff. But he went out there and took a bunch of Yoli, some raw product, and made drinks for the kids, and the kids, from what Robert said, absolutely loved it. I got calls from the principals and some of the parents and stuff that were there, and they said it was absolutely amazing. They loved it. The kids loved it. They were running around. Robert, if I'm not mistaken, they were saying stuff like, this is better than Gatorade, this is better than vitamin water, all that kind of stuff. They were going, getting in line 2 and 3 and 4 times to get more. We had about 800 kids or so out there. I mean, it was a lot of kids. And we've got, like I said, 8 more that we're going to do. And our goal is to have Yoli at every single one of them. And it's not because we're trying to sell kids. We're not trying to get kids to buy it.
No.
We just want them to realize that, look, there's a healthy alternative for drinks, and it tastes good. You can drink as much of this as you want and be healthy, not have to worry about all the stuff that you have to worry about when you drink these other drinks. So it was a huge success, and there's going to be a lot of opportunity to do a lot more things with the foundation and partnering with Yoli and taking it out and sharing the message.
Well, I commend you for working with children. I mean, that's where it all starts. That's where the educational process starts.
Yeah.
And there's a show, Jamie Oliver's Food Revolution, I think it's called. Have you seen this at all?
I haven't seen it.
Okay,
no.
but you know who Jamie Oliver is,
I've heard
right?
of
The famous chef from England, and he came to West Virginia. I can't remember the name of the city, but it's the unhealthiest city in America. The obesity rate is higher amongst the children, amongst the adult population. And as the teaser for the show, this is just shocking. He went into a small classroom with children. They might have been 5 or 6, maybe kindergarten, 1st grade, and they could not identify a tomato until he held up a bottle of tomato ketchup.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They couldn't identify a potato. They couldn't identify any vegetable really whatsoever. And so, when I hear something like that, that's really where, I mean, it sounds shocking, but that's what's happening.
It's crazy.
They can recognize a chicken McNugget.
Oh, yeah. Or a French fry.
Or French fry.
Yeah.
But we really, and that's part of Yoli's mission, is to educate the children and provide them with a healthy alternative.
Yeah.
And as you know, most of the sugar consumption is in the form of a beverage. And some of these beverages, let's take Gatorade. Even a 20, 30-ounce bottle of Gatorade could have upwards of 40, 50 grams of sugar.
Oh, yeah. I was looking at it, and it's crazy. I mean, it is crazy. The more I look into, the amounts of sugar that some of these drinks have, and I just looked up aspartame just for fun, because I just wanted to see, I was like, do I really want to do this? Because I use like Splenda and stuff like that in my coffee. And I looked up like some of these artificial sweeteners and stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, I could not believe that. I mean, it's really shocking that it's okay to drink it. I mean, it really is. I'm wondering myself, like, with the amount of coffee that I drink, like, what am I gonna, like, what's gonna happen to me, So
stevia.
Yeah, stevia. I know that's the thing, and it's just crazy. But I think about that, and I think about the fact that just a few months ago, I'd heard that stuff like that was bad for you, but I really didn't know.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I got involved with Yoli that I started thinking, okay, I need to go and research this stuff a little bit. And it's just crazy, the stuff that people are putting into their bodies, and they have absolutely no idea what it's doing to them. I mean, none. And I see that, and I'm just like, I'm
with
shocked.
Smart, intelligent, educated people.
I'm shocked.
Like you.
I'm shocked. I really am. And yeah, I mean, you see it, it's an epidemic. I mean, you see it all over the country. And it's just a re-education. It's not hard. I mean, it's just sitting down, having a talk with a friend, saying, hey, did you know? You know, and before you know it, I think we could have, again, you know, create a movement across the country that could make for a healthier America.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely, and that's what it's all about. So if the Fun Active Blast has the alkali, it has the electrolytes, right? And you know, I mean, Gatorade, really, when you look at it, it's got electrolytes, but then other than that, it's really just sugar water, and that's what we're giving our kids. That's what we're drinking ourselves to rehydrate.
Right, right. And not just Gatorade. I mean, there's a lot of other drinks that are the same way, and then there's a lot of drinks that'll tell you that they don't have sugar in them, but then they're using the artificial sweeteners. And, you know, I didn't realize, I started looking at things like orange juice, you know, you know, and they always say that, you know, that's a healthier form of sugar and stuff, and I'm like, that's great, but it's still sugar. You know? I mean, you're still getting tons and tons of sugar, not to mention, you know, when you look at the whole process of pasteurization and things like that, and, you know, you're looking at something that's getting 100% vitamin C, but, you know, you're really getting like 20%, and you're wondering why your kids aren't getting healthy, you know. It's just crazy. Exactly. It's just crazy, but, you know, again, it's one of those things. It doesn't take much. You know, if you can just sit down and have a conversation with somebody, I think this is an easy thing to get people to buy into. It's just telling them what's going on out there. You know, sharing the truth with them.
Telling them the truth.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's our first formulation, which is the superfruit antioxidant blend with the acai and the pomegranate and the goji and the resveratrol, and then the alkali in the truth actually acts as a nutrition enhancer, absorption. Exactly, increases the absorption of those superfruits.
Yeah, and that's something that, like I said, has been helpful for me, is just knowing that I'm getting more out of my foods and the things that I'm drinking, you know, the Yoli and stuff, than I normally would get. And so I know it doesn't sound like much. You know, like there's some people that are like, I don't really care. You know? But I'm like, you know, for somebody like me, especially somebody like me, every little bit counts. You know, every little bit counts. And it's not just me. I mean, everybody's the same way. But, you know, I'm thinking to myself, when I'm going up and competing against some of the best athletes in the world, you know, on the stage of the Olympics, everybody's talented. You know, everybody's got talent. Everybody's got the possibility of winning. And it's going to come down to preparation and things like that, how your body's working and things like that could make the difference. And in a sport where, you know, 1,000th of a second can be the difference between gold medal and no medal. You know, you've got to do everything you can to make sure your body's getting everything that it needs and that it's working as efficiently as possible. So.